Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, Jocasta Lester. It is nearly 3:30 a.m. Um, almost 3:20 actually. Let me see, 30 minutes. It's 3:16. So check this out. I just woke up a moment ago, and I've been getting tormented in this room right here, in the spirit. I've been feeling there's these little black bugs. They call them sewer bugs, and I was painting or something. They call them sewer bugs, but there's these little black bugs that started coming out of nowhere. Like I wouldn't see them coming out of drains. No, they would just appear. And I would see these things. I'm like, what in the world is going on in this apartment, right? So this morning, I just woke up to what was something mortifying. um, what it looked like was this, and it was like being in a half sleep, half awake state. I waited till my eyes cleared up, and it wasn't there anymore. Okay, but I woke up and just along, you see that line right there? Well, across the room from me, it's just the same. Well, I'm telling you, along the ceiling, okay, on the wall that is directly across from this bed, there were those little black bugs all along the top of the wall. So I was looking, I'm like, what in the world? Then I woke up, okay, fully. So it was like being almost asleep, almost awake, but having a vision just before awakening that in the place where I am, and I looked over at that wall, it was black bugs coming from looking like it came from the ceiling, like they were coming from the ceiling down into the room. Okay. Now, the mortifying thing, another thing I've been hearing in the spirit repeatedly, that my son, my child Tobias Lester, is in the attic of this building. I've already bought bolt cutters and all types of things trying to get into this attic. The neighbor, she came out. They say in this building that this apartment used to belong to drug dealers. Okay, so um, it's not something far-fetched to me that there is something that may have gone wrong here. So, the lady upstairs, she's upstairs. Her apartment is just near the attic. They say she was living here for years, like 17 years. I'm not quite sure if anybody lived here that long. But either way, they say that she lived here for 17 years and that this apartment right here used to belong to drug dealers. They were drug dealers living here first before we came to live here. They had they hadn't remodeled everything so well, really. Like this place, it just looks like, they were working on it, but not like they finished everything. So anyway, I was told that my ex-husband used to bring my son here, and I'm understanding that there's more to meets the eye. And yes, he fought me in terms of arguing and such for the right to take my son out to fish with him, like to go fishing with him. He would guilt trip me. I would go through this whole argument. And he's like, you don't, it will be a number of things. But long story short, in order to take my son fishing with him on the weekends, I didn't want him taking my son anywhere. That's the truth. But he guilt tripped me into letting him go out with my child. And I was very, very overprotective. They would say overprotective, but no, I was protective of my son. So with that said, in other words, I'm trying to gather when this particular thing may have happened, but I was told in my spirit, after having seen these bugs, these black bugs on the wall, and yes, I felt what was a horrific crawling sensation under my skin repeatedly this morning. It felt like the little black bugs had gotten under my skin, like they had burrowed under my skin and were moving. Okay. But check this out. I was told that my ex-husband used to bring my son here to watch people get raped and tortured. Okay. So it's not far-fetched to me It's not far-fetched to me. He hated our child in hindsight, okay? Looking back, one of the things that I said to my ex-husband is that my son, is going to be a man, okay? Just before I left, my ex-husband behaved very strangely. He said something about being turned out at 8 years old. And I didn't understand what he was saying, okay? Fully. He had finally brought it to my attention that he had been hurt as a child, okay? But one way or the other, without giving too much of his business or anything, I woke up this morning to this horrific sight and heard that my ex-husband used to bring my son to this place to see people get raped and tortured. Now, another thing, it's as though if I were here reliving this horrific, whatever this is, okay, like if they came to do some evil something here outside of my sight or knowledge, then I would probably gather that what I saw on the wall may have been something that my son saw in times prior. These black bugs, okay? I have dealt with what felt like these nasty black bugs crawling under my skin repeatedly. There's a spirit by the name of India Hamilton, okay, that was running all over my body this evening with these bugs. Those bugs felt horrible. It started crawling here, crawling there, crawling in my back. It was a horrible feeling. So, FYI. So, in other words, I heard in my spirit that my ex-husband raped and tortured my child, but I'm inclined to believe that he may have been running with a female, in other words, a partner in crime. So have a blessed and marvelous day. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I am telling you this because I have done several things. I've given an effort to getting my son out of this attic because I believe that he may be here. I understand that certain places where there's nasty feelings and things, there's probably something evil that happened. But one way or the other, there are things wrong here. And if you could, call the police and tell them that you believe that there's a boy that hasn't been reported missing. His name is Tobias Lester. You believe that something horrific may have happened in the city of Portsmouth. You watch a person on YouTube talk about it, and you think that his dad may be involved, but you're not sure, in a cover-up to rape and torture his own son, okay? The attic is the goal. I'm trying to get him out of the attic. I've called the police more than once. I've tried to get them to check it out, and they didn't. The raccoon, they already ran out. They moved out. So the noisemakers in the attic that would be the reason for going up into the attic, they're already gone. They've sealed up the hole that was in the attic. The landlord did. And I was told that my son was brought here to watch people get raped and tortured. And that he was raped and tortured by his dad. Okay? And now I've been having these nightmares where it's almost like I'm sitting in my son's position in the first person, perceiving or observing things as though this thing had happened. Okay? So one way or the other, just, you believe there's a child in danger. The only evidence that you have is, there are people talking openly and confessing things that are things that make you feel concerned about the safety and the welfare of this child, who is Tobias Lester. His dad is Tommy Lester. You've heard that he lives in Georgia, okay, and Augusta to be exact. And I live in Portsmouth, Virginia, okay? So have a blessed and marvelous day. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I am reaching out to you to aid me in getting the police to look into what is in the attic of this building. There are things wrong here. I am sitting here now feeling like some of these black bugs have burrowed under my skin. I do not know why. I have not seen them, but I have, in terms of burrowing under my skin. But there are these things that have been happening in terms of these parasites, all types of things. Okay, I've had real cases of, scape weird stuff. It's like it was almost like here's what I've been told, that he's been mutilated, that his body, his skin was basically open and wounded, and that they put him in the attic. Okay, there have been rodents that have come down into this apartment. There have been the raccoon that moved out nearly immediately after they sealed the hole at the top. So it's been a number of things that point to something being very wrong in this building. Okay. I've been feeling crawled on. I've been told to deal with parasites. I got attacked by scabies suddenly. All of these things, it was like all of them happened nearly at once. Like something happened in the building, like the environment shifted, and it was enough to make everyone sick. Okay? So have a blessed and marvelous day and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And yes, I was told that my ex-husband used to bring my son to this place to watch people get raped and tortured. And this apartment used to be an apartment belonging to drug dealers, according to a neighbor upstairs. So have a blessed and marvelous day. You guys take care.